of that cost of what they're getting ripped off for. So in addition to the webmasters and that, if you're not getting enough traffic and you look to go to an expert, a lot of them are not really experts. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah, I had that discussion this morning. There's definitely a lot of the blight of our industry at times. Yes.
You set up this new website, Web 2.0, got video, blogs, search engine optimized, all this stuff. That's stuff you do in-house. Put it out there. Now, what can you tell us about proactive marketing? That's all, I would say, passive to a certain extent.
To a certain extent, yeah.
You've optimized it. You've built a store. Okay, so now what can you do proactively to drive traffic into your website other than put it on your card, your brochure, which is how to get people aware of it other than depending on them to search for you?
Well, one thing you mentioned video, for example, and just to give you a quick example. If you have video just on your site, that's great for whoever is a subscriber already and whoever comes to your site. But if it's out on the video distribution networks like YouTube, like on Google, like on Vidler, all these sites that are all free sites, Blip TV, these are all video distribution sites. They're video on demand. In other words, you do a keyword search on YouTube, you're going to find all videos only related to that keyword. Now, they go and they watch the video. How is that video branded? Is it driving the people back to your site? Is there, again, some type of incentive in the video? You can't have a sales pitch, you can't be salesy, but there needs to be, this is why we talk about tribal seduction. Seduction, not molestation. And if you were in the keynote, we talked about marketplace molesters, where they hit people with buy now, or this is a special offer. If you end with a corny, or it's a scroll across the bottom of the video. Yeah, exactly. People aren't going to watch it. It won't go viral. It has to be seductive. We all want to be seduced, because being seduced is a two-way pleasure. Where, again, we use these strong words to drive the point home that a marketplace molester is only in it for themselves. So if you know your loyals and you love your loyals and you understand what they want and who they are, you're going to be interested in building a relationship. And that's a great way to, you may look at it as being passive, but that actually is very proactive in going out into the new media marketplace, getting people's attention, and then driving them back to your hub, to your new media site.
An interesting point is too that you can use your website, as we did with our Manini Marketing Conference project. We used the website on the one side to market the conference, but on the other side also to inform the speakers, on the third to inform registrants what we have to offer. But with this different medias what we had, and then we would have radio there, some of the radio, the shows what we had there, basically there's an MP3 player on there, there's a video on there where we were interviewed from Entrepreneur Magazine. So to use it on one side really to inform, but on the other side to bring up that people really can see. The first time, in the beginning we said, okay, we have one registrant on this conference, so now, but we want to show everybody it's going to be a big conference. So how you do that? Or you can do that over your website by having massive, all these speakers there and all these panels there, and it's over 2 days. So you give people the impression that's a big thing, and there's a lot of things, a lot of different things what you can learn. So the content need to be seductive on the one side, but you also, if you can find a way to use a website as a medium for different groups, and this is what Sean Paul is talking about, they get people not only on the website they wanna buy something, but they get people on their website, they wanna interact with other people. And the more people interact with other people, the more ideas come up, and the more actually these people have a common ground, and this common ground is their business. So now you it's kind of a indirect marketing. So you get all these people together, and when they are together, you're not selling them something, you say, oh, what do you want to buy? So it's just like, you're here already, so what is it now what we can do for you? And in these blogs, you get this, people get this idea that they have a lot of benefit with that if you do your website right. This answers kind of your question, Will?
Chris, do you have any thoughts?
I had something I wanted to say on that, because on a proactive level, what you're really wanting to get down to is how do I get the people who are interested in my product or service, right,
Precisely.
to connect with my website.
Right.
And that's a very, how do I put that? You know, that's going to vary by industry, and it's going to vary by product and service, and there's not a blanket answer for that. And I think that's where you need that customized approach, right? It's going to be very different for somebody who's running an activity rental business, right, versus somebody who has a product. The bottom line, though, is that you need to find out and identify who those users are, and then you're going to develop a plan of attack, if you will, of how you're going to get that information out to those users, right? And that could be from anything. You know, we use a variety of things. I'm not a big fan of pay-per-click campaigns, but that's an option. There's a banner advertising. There's all those other options out there, but I would say that you really need to look at where your users are and trying to find a way to grab those users and get your name out with those users. And I agree with these guys very much on the fact that getting it viral in that sense and getting people to interact and connect there is going to be the best way, because then people are referring your site. You know what I mean? So we started a program right now with Go Airlines, for instance, and we realized that people were on their booking their airfare. Why not go ahead and book your lodging? So we're actually in the middle of a site revamp right now for Go Airlines, and we're going to have a special category for people who have lodging. They can buy a space on there, and it's been hugely successful. We kind of beta tested it for a while, and these guys bought a banner for $600 a month, and they were making $3,000 or $4,000 off their banner. We connected those users, right, very highly targeted to the, you know what I mean, to the right product and service. So that's what you kind of want to find, is where's that little niche for you and for your product and service. Somehow it's got to be there.
Where's the most effective use of your time? It's not so, once you have your hub set up. See, I don't like to even call it a website, because it really should be a hub for all you're doing online now. If all you have is a site, no matter how well built the site is, and you're not making use of all these other new media properties, you're losing out on traffic generation. And these are all traffic generation sources. So what you do on your site, once the basic site is set up, if you have your conversion pages are set up properly, and that includes whatever incentive you have for people joining your list. Conversion pages for sales, everything from basic items to your most expensive products. All that set up. Now, all you need to do is have connection-based content added on a regular basis. That could be as little as 1 to 3 times per week, as little as, if you're doing written content, it could be a 2 or 3 paragraph post. It could be, we have a client in Miami, actually the site's called miamiism.com, and they're realtors. They've built up a complete cult following, their own tribe, based on Miami. Most of their new content are just images with 2 or 3 sentences, because people who love Miami, they're passionate about different architecture and all that, and you'll just see a picture. Perfect for Hawaii if that relates to your business. Even if it doesn't, it's something we mix in all the time because people connect with Hawaii. It could be an audio, 1 audio per week, audio podcast. It could be a video. Again, what the content is much like traffic generation. It's going to depend on your business. What you do outside of that, what you spend time on, is more important. Once you have your base hub set up, that's more important, what you're doing in the satellite sites. And everybody will pick different satellite sites, again, based on what their business is and what their goals are. So one person might have MySpace as one of their main satellite sites. They may have Podcast Alley and iPodder, and they're doing podcast-based things and are interacting on those. And another person may have Twitter, Facebook, and using like Vidler, which is a video-based site where you have your own channel and you can interact with people there. And that's where you're spending your time, because creating conversations in those satellite sites is going to drive traffic back to your main hub. And that's where the deeper connection takes place. It's an initial handshake out here. Think of it like dating. Even within one sequence, you can go from, okay, hi, how are you, to having coffee, to sitting down at dinner at your hub, and getting to know each other better at dinner. That relationship gets deeper there. Another date, it's a higher level of commitment. They're now on your list, analogy. Now you can work the relationship, build a relationship, induce more seduction, and draw them in just like you would in a dating relationship, whether you're a guy or a girl. So that's why those satellite sites are the most important use of your time for building new relationships.
Okay. So before we close this this session from the time, everybody have like 30 or 45 seconds. Maybe Chris, you start.